baby, listen to the speaker. No matter what, just say the word. I'm loving all I see.
Pop, Perswayable. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. So, I want to give a shout out to Amanda. Amanda sent me this wonderful, beautifully done artwork. And I want to give a shout out to her for taking the time out of her busy life to send me something that's so nice and kind and considerate. And I want to let other graphic designers and artwork creators know that if you create anything for me, please send it to me at perswayable@gmail.com. And we're also looking for artwork designers at all times to join the Perswayable team. So by all means, please feel free to send your artwork. This is incredibly kind to you. I don't charge people or do any of that business garbage. You help me by giving me some beautiful artwork that represents your creative mindset. Then I'll give you the platform to show your artwork to my audience, and also to plug in your social media. It's very important that I help other people, just as other people such as Grizzly has helped me. Those relationships are important, and you can make friendships along the way. All right, let's get right to the guide. All right, so we all know that going against a Ripper can be extremely annoying, especially after the update. You have very annoying people like Blue Race Car who are really good with the Ripper. And by the way, I'm allowed to say that because Blue Race Car is my friend. So anyways, you have really good players who use them. And even for myself, and I consider myself a very good kiter, I can have a difficulty sometimes trying to keep track of the Ripper. And I already know that you'll have some of the leaders who are like, oh, it's not really that hard. Man, the hell with that. I'm going to show you me kiting somebody and doing a relatively good job, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. There's times where I can't see. There's times where I get hit because of that lack of ability of being able to really see. So right now, I'm not showing you a trick, right? There's no tricks. This is just kind of me playing the game. And earlier in this round, this Ripper was actually able to get me down because I had to go in for a rescue. This is 2 versus 8. So I was a little bitter about it, right? I get a little salty sometimes. I have a competitive side, right? And I do my best to manage it. So I was like, all right, you know what? I want a rematch, you little big bully. So that was my squeaker voice. I hope it went all right. So anyway, so I got healed up. I was able to get at least 1 buff. And this is me just kind of going one-on-one with him. And he knows who I am, and I know who he is. I'm not sure if he wants me to say his name, but he's a cool guy. So anyways, this is showing you me kiting him, like literally one-on-one, no me taking sacrifice hits or anything. But it's still difficult, right? Even though I'm doing what I need to do and I'm pulling my weight, it's still difficult. And because at times I can't see him. And that can really affect your ability to kite. And then, of course, whenever you say this, you always have that one guy who's like, well, what you need to do is you just need to look at the flashlight, and that's it. Well, yeah, we all get that. We all get that Johnny bag of donuts, but here's the thing. It can still be complicated, right? Like, what was that? So I have a little trick that I'm going to show you that I do sometimes, especially because in 2 versus 8, you can kind of see the hunter's name. So when I know I'm facing a good Ripper, there is a different strategy that I do. Not necessarily as the forward, right? Because the forward, I'd like to really invest in the speed potion and in the footballs, right? My job is to harass the whole game. So this is kind of me against somebody else, and we're both flexing a little bit. We want to, we're testing each other out. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? You stick your foot in the pool before you jump in. That's what's going on right now. We testing each other out a little bit. So, and I'll show you what that trick is in a little bit. But like I said, I just want to show you the ability to kite. I go down, right, like any other normal human being. And I think at the end of this match, my kite was about 3 minutes, I think, in total. I think you saw the 180 seconds pop up somewhere along the lines of that kite. So I did a good job in 2 versus 8. The switches are up. I mean, you can only do so much as one person. All right, so let's really look at this, watch Perswayable die on the chair, and then we're going to get into the trick. All right, so here's the new match, right? First thing you need to buy is a speed pill. Oh my God, Perswayable, we don't need to see that. We already know that. We don't watch your YouTube videos for stupid content. Okay. Oh, I have so much fun doing that. Well, here's the thing, right? So obviously you need speed pill. Speed pill is super important, right? And now this is a Wu Chang, and now I'm being double teamed. The trick is to have a flare gun, right? So in 2 versus 8, you will be able to have sights on the individual, on the Ripper, the entire time. It is a lot easier to manage his invisibility, and it's a lot easier to kite him when you don't have to really guess check where he is. Now, it is true that you can use the red flashlight as an indicator, but it can still be very confusing, especially if you're going against a top Ripper. They know how to spin their character around to confuse you, to get you to jump, right? A lot of top Rippers know how to do that. So this kind of bypasses that a little bit. It gives me an idea of where you're going at all times, and that vision is incredibly important. Right now, I'm able to kite this guy in his own fog, which means he also has a speed boost. But because I can see him, and because I have this indicator with the flare gun, if I'm going against a top Ripper, I absolutely buy the flare gun. The flare gun gives me that vision. It gives me the idea that I can see him at all times. And now this is just me running around with my head cut off against pretty much 2 hunters. I'm using that flare gun, and my butt is getting on the ship. Now, what I really like about this trick is that it's actually realistic. It's a realistic trick. You can use the flare gun, right? I know that some people make these trick videos or tip videos in other video games, and they're just YouTubers that are looking for your clickbait. They're tips that technically work, but you're never going to use them because they're so obscure. They're so out of the element. But I don't feel like that's the truth here. I feel like this is actually a realistic trick and tip that you can use, because flare gun is something that you can use at all times, especially as a doctor if you need to go in for an additional rescue. And I genuinely use this. This is something that I use as a doctor. Sometimes I will buy the flare gun, especially against a Ripper. It is considerably easier to kite against a Ripper when you have that vision on them at all times. You go against a player like Blue Race Car, who's a top 15 hunter, #1 Ripper hunter in the game. You're going to have to do things like these to stay up to date with them. And that's coming from me. I feel like I'm a very good kiter. I feel like I can kite anybody at any point in time. That doesn't mean that I'm a god. It means that there are plenty of hunters that can kill me as well, right? These hunters are very good, and I do die all the time. It happens, right? But at the same time, when I'm telling you that if I were to face Blue Race Car one-on-one, this is a strategy that I would use in 8 versus 2 anyways, because it's something that would help me be able to see the vision of a spectacular player. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just a nice little tip. And we got a lot of content coming up soon. Lots and lots of content. I'll talk to you all later. Love you. Bye.